Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another episode of our Crusader Kings 2 Fall of the Western Roman Empire campaign. So, in the last episode, we finished taking back this little province here that had fallen into Alemannian hands, which we, of course, needed in order to found the empire. We also finished the construction on the Circus Maximus, and so all of the requirements had been met for, well, actually, technically, they hadn't all been met at any one point, because at some point during the war for this province, we had a revolt in the south here. And so we're actively putting that revolt down right now, but once that revolt is dealt with, we should be able to go ahead and found our empire. And that's going to be huge for us, because that's pretty much the main thing that we've been working toward in this playthrough. But that's not necessarily the end for us, because once we have our empire, we are going to want to bring it back to its former glory, and that means that there's going to be a lot of conquest into continental Europe for us to do. So the Visigoths, the Alemannians, everybody else down here in Hispania, potentially up in Britannia as well. We've got a lot of steamrolling to do. So let's finish this up and see if we can't form our empire. Alright, so how are we doing up here? As soon as, yeah, I was going to say, as soon as that's dealt with and everybody's here, we will merge you and just have you wipe that place out. Come on. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, and then back down to the south. I apologize for all the pausing that's going to happen, but I need to basically just like rapid fire crush these guys. Okay, give me that army. I want you to pursue while the larger army crushes them. Or besieges, or whatever. Okay, 2 victories there. Keep at it. I wish there was a better way to do this. It's really hard and finicky to select these armies. Keep going, keep going. That should be the last one. Okay, you guys are done up there. That's 100%. Cool. Let's enforce our demands. Perfect. Okay. Let's disband all of our armies. And then see about dealing with these traitors and forming our empire. First things first. Who is locked up? We have 6 prisoners now. All of them prefects. So there's going to be a lot of new lords here in a second. You're my direct vassal. Okay, so you only have the one title. You're just gonna get yours outright revoked, and then we'll see if anybody's willing to pay your ransom. Somebody is. We're gonna have a lot of territory we need to give away too. Okay, Reinhard, are you a direct vassal of mine? Yes, and you only have the one, so we'll revoke yours as well. Anybody willing to pay a ransom? I'll take 10 gold. Why not? Okay. Let's see. Did we do Magnetus yet? Revoke title. You only have one, right? Yeah. Revoke title. Perfect. And again, we'll see if anybody is willing to pay your ransom. I'm glad somebody is. So that's you two. Did I already deal with you? Yeah. I don't know why I did it in a weird order like that. So these 3 still need to be dealt with. You, same thing. Single province. Let's revoke it. And then we will try to get some money out of it. Load off. You only have the one. You have some interesting claims. Unfortunately, you're also a traitor, and he's the one that led the rebellion. So he's got to be dealt with. And then, can I execute him too? Of Rick Alania. Where the hell's that? I don't really care, to be honest. So let's go back to here. So Ludolf, for leading that rebellion, I'm going to execute you. Nobody in my kingdom cares, and that's all I care about. Finally, we have Luitpold. You only have the one title, correct? Yeah. Got a lot of claims. Cool. And ransom, right? 10 gold, perfect. Now then, with everybody in our prison dealt with, I have a lot of territory that needs to get distributed. Pretty much all of this and that. So, before we do it, I would like to go ahead and found our empire. So, restore the Western Roman Empire. We have all the baronies in all 3 dioceses. We have Rome as our capital. The Circus Maximus is built. The Legio, or the 8th Legion, has been founded. I don't know who's in control of it, but it does exist. We can try to steal it, I think, for like 2,000. So that's something to consider later. But it does exist, which is the important thing. Our prestige is 1,500 or greater, and we have 3 king ranking titles. We have Italy, we have Dalmatia or Dalmatia, and then I always forget what this one's called. It's I always think of it as like Transalpine Gaul, but there's a name for it. Anyways, we have everything we need, so let's do this. Western Roman Empire. As a powerful ruler of a Roman successor state, you've managed to reclaim the lost provinces in Italia and give back some glory to the city of Rome. You are now seen as the true successor of the Western Roman emperors. Maybe there's still hope one day to reconquer and reunite the former Roman Empire. So long live Rome. We're granted the title Western Roman Empire. We gain 1,000 prestige. And the Eastern Roman Emperor and the Pope are informed of the restoration. Bingo. The homeland of the Christians. The Pope of Rome stood tall this day, seeing the rightful sons return to the Italian peninsula, marching in stride to reclaim the land that was lost to the barbarian tribes. Realizing that the new empire is a worthy successor to Rome, the Nicene Pope offered the full support of his faith to the new Western Roman Empire. So we gain 100 piety as well. The Second Rome. With the revival of a Western Roman Empire based in Rome, the Eastern Roman Empire in Constantinople has been in upheaval. By gaining the approval of the sitting Roman Emperor, Imperator Caesar Justinian, this second Rome has been acknowledged and praised as worthy successor to the past western half of the empire. This restored Rome will now be able to strengthen its relations with the other half of the once great empire, and will be able to flourish with the support of the emperor in the east, who is also crumbling, mind you. Much of their territory has actually become independent, and so that's something we'll need to consider too. We might try to like retake all of the empire's stuff. But there's some more prestige. Right, so let's get rid of a bunch of this. I need to just like clear out. We have so many titles now. Okay. So let's see. I'm not digging the veil thing on your head. Can we change that? No, I can't. Change your hairstyle in it, though. Really, I can't go left? I mean, that looks a little bit better in that headdress. That's the original. Where was the one I liked? That one. Okay. Make it so. Okay. So this is us. We are the Western Roman Empress. We're also the King of Italy. Ananaria is what I was thinking of. Or actually, no, not Ananaria. This is the one I was thinking of. Noricum. Got it. And Dalmatia. We actually have, what, 4 titles? Okay. Right. And you are just a regular commander because you're a monk. he is still the heir. And a good one at that. So things are looking pretty good. Let's look at betrothals. I am most interested here in potential for quality heirs. So I need somebody who's also a genius, or at the very least quick, like her. You're old, or you'd be a great choice. You're quick. Good name for a queen, too. And about the right age. Proud, gregarious. The only issue is we'd have to convert her. We'd also get a non-aggression pact, potentially an alliance. Let's see. Got Roman nostalgia. Well, you'd be in the right place at least, but you'd have to convert. Interesting that a Germanic pagan would have Roman nostalgia. That's kind of weird. Let's see. You're a bit young, but you are quick. Any geniuses out there, though? Not seeing much. I'll keep scrolling through, though. Alright, so the girl I mentioned before is actually the best candidate I could find, which is kind of unfortunate. There was not a lot of choices, to be honest. But she's about the right age. We wouldn't have to wait too long for the betrothal to go through. She is quick, so the chances of our heirs either being a genius or quick are improved. She is a courtier, so we actually are going to take a prestige hit. But there's only a very small handful of characters in that list that weren't courtiers. And this prestige hit is considerably less than some of the other ones. There was a couple of younger geniuses, but they were so far down the list I was looking at minus like 300 prestige if I went through with it. So this isn't too bad. It's probably the best compromise we're going to have. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll lock it in. And I'm going to ask if we can take over guardianship of her. Because I'd like to steer her in the right direction in terms of skills and traits and all that. So briefly, what we'll do is I'm going to assign you a new guardian. You're not a very good character, sorry to say. Who is one of the better all-around ones that we have? Maxima, you do it. Right. Back to you. We'll wait for that to be accepted. Oh, we're about to get a bunch of notifications for our ransoms. Okay, pause please. We need to hand out territory before we get into trouble. Because people are going to hate us for having too many titles. Actually, no, we're within our domain. That said, though, I don't really have any interest in holding the titles that I have, so I'd like to get rid of everything down there. It's not really of any use to me. So, I would like to become your guardian, if your parents don't mind. Still no. Hostage to a foreign power, but she's going to be coming here anyways. I was hoping that by doing that we could convert her culturally and, more important, religiously. But no, they're not willing to do it. Damn. Yeah, I just don't want her to end up with a bunch of bad traits because they weren't bringing her up properly. Oh well. There we have it. There's our empire. So what we'll have to do moving forward is start conquering into this area. And I'll have to decide. I think Burgundy is definitely first. Because, again, they're right here on the border. It just makes the most sense. Then, we could take a big chunk out of the Visigoths. I don't know how easy that would be to do. Let's see. It's not going to let me declare war. We have armies raised. Where do I have an army raised? Oh, over here. Whoops. Okay. Right, so if we tried to declare war, what are our options? Imperial Reconquest. So it costs us 500 gold, but we don't take a 500 prestige hit anymore. So that's kind of nice. Not that the prestige was ever really the issue, but at least we don't lose prestige anymore. So, can't really take a whole lot of land at once. Oh, there we go. The 7 provinces, okay. So I think after we deal with the Burgundians, that's our next goal right there. Then, with most of southern Gaul conquered, I think we'll maybe go in on the Alemannians and just try to wipe them out entirely. How much land can we claim from them? That's a good chunk. That's also a good chunk. But we are going to have to kind of take them piecemeal, it looks like. We can't do it all at once. Although, what we can do now that we are an Empress is we can give somebody a bit of land in our territory somewhere and then try to take a kingdom in their name. And because they're a king and we're now an Empress, they'll still fall in with under us. Whereas before we couldn't do that because we were also at the king level. And so they would have been equal to us and therefore not subject to our reign. But now they will be subject, and that is an option that we have. So for something like Gaul, that might make sense because it is, you know, again, it would be like 4 or 5 wars to take all that the Alemannians hold. But there could be other ways to do it, so that's not necessarily required. And then we, of course, have all this land down here that we want to take, and northern Africa as well. And then if the east keeps going as it's going, we'll need to start pushing this way too. The Gepids are in real trouble, but I was considering trying to turn them into Federati. We'll probably retake... I wonder. He's a decent friend of ours. When he's at peace, I might try to offer vassalization and see if he'll just become a king under us. Because that would be ideal. His family's been pretty cool with us thus far, and he's been pretty friendly with... less so Juliana, more so her father, but still that family's been on good terms with us for a while. So we'll see. He is quite old though, so we might not be able to do it in time. But yeah, that's the plan. So let's go into our court now and see if there's anybody worthy of giving land to. It's entirely possible that there isn't. We might need to bring some people in. Okay. Yeah, I'll give you some land. The question is, are you the most worthy? Because I do need to appoint like a governor down here, I believe. You have that. Are you still at war? God, this guy's always at war. I've been waiting to usurp that title for a really long time. And he still has it. Okay. Well, somebody will get that title eventually, and it'll probably be whoever ends up holding Syracuse. I also need to give this away, and I really need to get rid of him. Let's see. Okay, so you're all part of that province. Right. You guys, on the other hand, are direct vassals of mine. Is he the only one under that title? Can I just usurp it from him? Unless you have a strong claim. Can I revoke it? That's risky. I've tried this in the past and it backfired. They ended up bringing a lot of people with them in a rebellion. But that is potentially an option. If we did that, I could just make him somebody else's problem. I could give, let's see, what's the most powerful province here? I guess it would have to, well, it doesn't have to be this. But I'll give this away and then pick one of these 3 to make the governor and just make him the vassal under them. But again, I do have to revoke that title and that could be dangerous. Anyways, I need to continue looking through our court and see if there's people worthy of giving land to. And aside from that, I need to decide who's going to be my governor down here. A lot of children. I need you around. I can't give you away or anything like that. You are our husband, so same deal there. Let's see. You're just a random courtier, but you're not Roman, so I don't feel right giving you land. This guy's just a random courtier. He's also a monk, though, so I can't give him land. You can't hold land because I made you a monk. You're the son of her and her husband. So all I'm seeing so far is this guy. Well, let's go ahead and grant you a landed title. No, definitely not that. Let's see. I'm going to give you this one. And you can have the lower titles. So off he goes. Now then, I need to invite a bunch of people. So let's see. Obviously, no rulers. Doesn't matter if they're married, they can't be in prison, or they wouldn't join us. They have to be male, because we can't give women landed titles. Join court, yes, just to expedite the process. And ideally, I'd like them fairly young, or with established lineages, because I don't want to have to worry about reallocating land later. Let's see. You're pretty terrible, but that doesn't matter, because you're not going to be my direct vassal, so I don't care if you're awful. You're pretty young as well. Same deal here. You don't look like you're almost 70. Wow. Let's grab a few more, but that should be good enough. Oh, maybe that's it. Okay. That's about the oldest I'm willing to accept, right around 40. Master Seducer. I'll invite you too, but if you don't have children, it's going to make it difficult for me to give you anything. Alright, so we'll wait for them to arrive, and then we'll hand out all this land. What's taking everybody so long? Come on. There we go. Okay, you have children. Perfect. And sons at that. So his inheritance, or his line of inheritance, is pretty secure then. Looks like you have a daughter. At least you have some children. And he might have had a son there too. I couldn't see what the other was. Okay. Now that we have more members of our court, let's give some territory away. So, where are you guys? You. Not married. Right, well, let's go ahead and arrange a marriage for you. What I could do is marry him to Maxima and then make him the governor. Because I'd like to give her a pretty high position. You're already married, and I believe you have children. That's your wife. Oh, not who I meant to click on there. We have Marcellus, also unmarried. We could do the same with him. You know what? Here's what I'm going to do. You are going to marry... Where is she? It's not going to let me do it that way. You're going to marry Maxima matrilineally, so that all of their children will be of her house. And then we are going to make you in charge of... Where is it? Syracuse. So he'll be the governor with her. Is there any other land I need to give away? Because I'd like her to have a pretty high position. She's the same dynasty as the king down here. And I want to... no diocese. I want to keep them well established in my empire. Syracuse might be the best I can do. I'm not going to give away Rome. Where's that? I don't see any blue flashing. Oh, it's that little island down there. Not going to give away Milan. Where's this? Oh, up there? No. Not going to give you a frontier province. I think Syracuse is probably the most lucrative location I could give them. So, Syracuse it is. There you go. One child lacks a guardian. I guess I'll be your guardian since I couldn't do what I wanted to do. So there's that. Back to my court. Let's get back down here. You have a wife and a child, so I'll give you some land. Not there, not there, not there. Nope. Sure. Okay. Who else do we have? You're lowborn. Let's see. Anybody in my court that we could marry you to? Unfortunately, they're both too old to have children. She's not, but she's a pagan. I guess it's fine if she ends up converting, so we'll do that. I think it has to be matrilineal, yeah. Which I don't know that I necessarily want. Yeah, I'll figure something else out. Okay. Right, so... once he's landed, I can't tell him who to marry. So he might be problematic. Let's see. Where are the other guys at? Where? You are kind of dangerous with that high intrigue. Could give you that little island out there. Or that one. Sure, I'll give you that. Were you married? No. Okay. Let's find you a wife then. I guess I can marry you to her. Because you're both highborn. So do that. Grant landed title. What was it? That one? Damn it. Grant landed title. This one. No. That one? Yeah. Okay, there you go. Another one done. Moving back down to the bottom here. You had a family already, so that makes that much easier for me. Where is it? Neither of those. Not that one. Could do that one. Or... I think it's... yeah, that's it. So there you go. And I need one more person to hold this little island down here. And I believe I have at least one more. You, right? You are married. You have 2 daughters. That's good enough for me. Okay. So that has all been passed out. I don't have to worry about any of it anymore. All we need to do now is wait for our Vandal friend to stop being at war so that I can go ahead and usurp that title from him. Because we have everything we need to do it. It's literally just a matter of him not being at war so we can take it. So, there is a kingdom that we could create. Be all of that there. And I would probably lump these 2 in with it. The question is, who would we make king? I will probably need to hand out these titles now because I'm willing to bet that people are going to hold that against me. Actually, it doesn't seem like it. I have 4 king level titles and they don't seem to be begrudging that against me. So, I don't think I necessarily need to worry about it. To be honest, the king rank titles are almost redundant at this point because I can have so many vassals that, until I start hitting that cap, there's no reason not to just make everybody governor, because then if we keep the power under us decentralized, we will be safer. We want our power to be as centralized as possible, but we don't want our vassals to have too much power. Speaking of power and titles and stuff, I should probably go through here. Bestowed upon, right, we can designate as Caesar now. So Caesar was a title usually bestowed upon a designated heir and then retained upon ascension. So yeah, in the later empire, what the Augustus would do is they would generally name their heir, usually their eldest son, Caesar, so that he was like a sub-emperor, and then when the Augustus died or stepped down, it made the transition a little bit smoother because the heir was already in a sub-emperor role, whereas with a lot of inheritances, you had, you know, like a king or an emperor passing over control to somebody that at that point wasn't a ruler, and so it made it much more difficult. So in the later empire, that sort of helped, but if you read the history on the later empire, it really didn't. There was still plenty of civil wars every time somebody died, so yeah. But we will name our eldest son, or excuse me, our eldest son, our younger son, and the genius to that title. Let's see. That's quite the name there. Keeper of the Commentary. Who is most worthy of that? What is the... There's really not a whole lot of criteria for it, huh? So they're the keeper of the official diary. I feel like somebody with high learning, or maybe diplomacy or stewardship. You're the highest diplomat that can do it. Wow, okay. It really wants me to choose my son. I would rather put him in a different position, though. Can it not be... It looks like it can't be another ruler. I'm going to give it to Septimius, I guess, because he's just hanging out here, and I can't make him a governor or anything. Or I could give it to you. I can't give you land. So I could get him land later or something, whereas this guy, he's a monk. So, sure, we'll give it to you. Oh, so diplomacy is the main thing there. So I need to bring in somebody who's a solid diplomat and just keep them around for that reason. The Abactus, literally Acts Keeper, was the court archivist. Is this going to be a diplomacy thing as well? You're more commander material, as are you. So I guess it's going to be Septimius. Oh, it's based on learning, so he's actually pretty well suited to that task. Cura Epistolarum. Curator of Correspondence. Wow, some of these titles. And again, it doesn't tell me what skill is the most necessary, so I'm probably just going to skip that. Alright. So now we move into the Comes positions. So major departments of the Emperor's court and household had a chief with a staff quite similar to that of governor. This particular one, the Dispositionum, was responsible for organizing the imperial calendar and preparing the correspondence, which sounds a lot like the thing we just skipped, only more important. Again, don't know if there's anybody that can do that. What's this one? The head of the Domestici, a company of bodyguards stationed... Okay, that's pretty important. I'm going to give that, I think, to Maximus, my eldest son. Now we have this one. So that's the one for the estates. I don't have anybody that really jumped out at me for handling that. So let's skip it. I'll probably need to bring in more court members to fill these positions. What was that one? Imperial Finances. It will let me put my steward there, so I will do that. Comes Sacre Vestis. What does this do? Master of the Wardrobe. Okay. Yeah. Does that matter? I don't think so. I think a lot of these are just titles to give to court members so that they like you a little bit more. We did have more space for commanders though. Sempronius should definitely be in there. Nerva as well at 15. He's no slouch. You're just a court member. I'll put you in there. You're decent, and that might make you a little bit less hostile toward me. Tacitus, you're pretty well rounded. I don't know if I want to throw you in there. Marcellus, I may as well. You're really only suited to martial skills. And is that it? Yeah. Okay. So if we go back up to the top, what was this? Court adjutants or assistants. Okay, so yeah, a lot of these are just throwaway titles. Okay then. All of our positions are filled. Is there anybody more? Let's see. I feel like we should make this guy... The problem is he's going to be gone relatively quickly because eventually he's going to be a vassal to somebody else. But for now, I think we should take advantage. He is far better at the job, after all. So there we go. And I want you scheming in the capital to protect us. Especially now that we've just upset our former holder of that position. Although he really liked us, so it should be fine. Our husband is our Magister Militum. Whoops. Is there anybody better? There is actually. Quite a bit better. So, do I want to replace our husband? Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's going to mind too much. This guy is a governor, so we want to keep him, kind of play him close to the vest. And he, again, is far better at the job, so we may as well. We'll have you training troops in the capital. And finally, up here, we can do a little bit better, but I don't think it's worth it. These guys are, well, these two are heretics, and they don't really hold any standing in the kingdom, where, no, he doesn't either, but at least he's not a heretic. Okay, so we've got all that sorted. Let's look at our laws. Has anything changed here? No. What's it going to take for me to increase our crown authority? Oh, we need to get our legalism to 3. I've been trying to rush that. Not there yet. Oh, we're actually really close. Okay, so we can do that probably within her reign. And then centralization, also going to require legalism 3. So potentially we can do both of those in her lifetime. Actually, it might only give us 1, right? I don't remember. But 1 or both, we'll see. I'll have to decide which is more important. But those are both things to consider. And then I don't think we're going to really mess with our obligations at all. Let's see. Bureaucracy. Taxes rather than soldiers. Soldiers rather than taxes. No, I like it pretty balanced. Feudal levies are normal. Stability is normal. Tolerance, we're indifferent. I wonder... We'll have to consider this later, but... Intolerant might be better for us just because it offers some benefits that the others don't. For example, anybody that's not our religion, we can just revoke their title outright, which when we're conquering into Gaul here is going to be a fairly common occurrence. A lot of these Alemannians are going to be Germanic pagans. The Visigoths are Christian, but I believe a different form. Yeah, they're all Arians. And so that could be quite useful, but we'll have to decide if that's worth it or not. Feel free to let me know what you guys think on that stance, because I do think intolerance could certainly help us with that conquest. Alright, with all that admin stuff out of the way, I think we're going to call it there. So, the Western Roman Empire has risen once again. We are going to kick off with the conquest pretty quickly here. We have the funds for it, so there's really no reason not to. The Burgundians are going to go down first. I'm going to do my best to assimilate the East peacefully. That is, unless the East manages to pull out of this death spiral that they've been in. But my assumption is they probably won't be able to. And so anything south of the Danube River, I am going to try to bring into my empire. And obviously, we'll try to, take back this stuff that the Romans once held. Definitely Western Europe. Although where they stopped here, I might try to push out to the next river along there. Because realistically, it provides us a better line of defense. Whereas here, I mean, there's these small rivers, but there's a little bit more open territory there. This one runs all the way down to there, and that leaves only 2 provinces that are really exposed. And so it kind of depends, where we want to draw that line, but we could, in theory, really limit where we can be attacked from effectively. So we'll have to see where is best, but there's a lot of land that we want to conquer, and we'll definitely do that. So thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time playing some Crusader Kings with you, and I look forward to seeing you back here for the next episode.